Mr. Mayor.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good to see everybody here. To all the members of the public who are here, thank you for coming out, participating in local government. I got on my sneakers because we had some high school tournaments going on with some city teams represented that did very well today. Montgomery Academy was one of them that advanced, and I think Park Crossing, and we got a few others that are coming up as well. So I want to support our young people and all the parents and coaches and supporters where we can, and cheerleaders and everybody that's involved. So we're pulling for all of our teams in this tournament over the next few days as they advance in basketball, both girls and boys, to the state semifinals and hopefully on to the state championships. So with that said, we'll start with financial update. And I'd like to talk about the category beginning with sales and use tax. We haven't seen the type of growth that we'd like to see in this area. It's relatively flat, just showing about 1.36%. But we're looking at this and we're trying to see how this will affect our city revenue sources. However, sales and tax revenue is closely monitored by our CFO, and since it constitutes approximately 50% of the city's total general fund operating and debt service budget, it's important for us to kind of keep tabs on it and make sure that we're sharing that information not only with the council members but also with the general public. I mentioned in my report this time last year that forecasters were seeing indicators that may reflect sales and use tax revenue growth stalling or slowing down. One of those indicators was that consumers were not spending as much as they had in previous years. The cost of goods continues to rise, which correlates with an increase in sales tax revenue. However, when consumers' income does not increase with the cost of goods, it only means that those consumers will decrease their total spending to offset the increase in the cost of goods they are purchasing. Basically, people are pulling back. We're not just seeing that here in Montgomery, we're seeing that across the economy in our country. When we look at sales and use tax for FY 2024, it was about 5%. This source is expected to continue to grow, but not at the same pace that it has been in the previous year. Consequently, we budgeted accordingly in this year's budget, and we will continue to look at that moving forward. Now, if we'll turn to the next slide for lodging tax. This has not been a robust January as it was in December of the current year. However, growth was nearly 5% more than it was during the same period of FY 2024. It's normal to have a decline in lodging tax revenue in December primarily due to families staying home during the Christmas holidays. Year over year, lodging tax revenue is nearly 9% more than the same period in FY 2024. Considering the projected growth in tourism this year, I can only anticipate that lodging tax revenue will remain stable during the current year. Now, as we look at the gasoline tax revenue grew 14% over January 2024. Year over year, gasoline tax revenue has a growth rate of nearly 5%. It appears that people were traveling in and around the city during December, and after barely breaking even in 2024, I'm hopeful that we will continue to see growth from this revenue source. With the spring break on the horizon and the weather getting warmer, I anticipate that this revenue stream will at least remain stable for the remainder of the fiscal year. Now we'll look at the alcoholic and beverage tax. The alcoholic and beverage tax revenue increased nearly 3% compared to the same period in the previous year. Year over year, the alcoholic beverage tax revenue still has a growth rate of nearly 11% compared to the same period in FY 2024. It appears that consumers are purchasing more of the spirits than what they were purchasing in fiscal year 2024. I'll provide an income statement of fiscal year-end projections after collections for February posted in March. This information will provide a snapshot of how revenues and expenditures are trending for the city in the current year. Good news, business licenses have been extended. The deadline is February 21. That's coming up. And we know with it being the day after my birthday, that it is an important day to remember. Cece, you didn't catch that one. Day after my birthday. All right. That said, it's important to note that even though the deadline was extended, all tax accounts must be current with the City of Montgomery and paid in full before renewals will be issued. We appreciate your patience as city staff works diligently to ensure business licenses get renewed ahead of the deadline on February 21st. Just want to say again, we know that there have been challenges around the business tax renewal. A lot of our council members have gotten those calls. We received those calls. CFO has been keenly aware, trying to troubleshoot that along with our chief of staff and CAO. This is an issue that will not happen again. Anytime we have a situation like this, we have to learn from it. I think we've gotten some teachable lessons from how to deal with this when we're switching things around, how to handle some staff changes, but also software changes. And so we want to make sure that for all the businesses here in Montgomery that we've heard the complaints, we've heard your feedback, and we pledge to make sure this doesn't happen again and that we improve circumstances overall, not just for business license, but across the board as we seek to serve the residents of our city. So we're going to take this moment and learn from it. And I think we've already started implementing some things that will be helpful for us moving ahead. Now, I would like to highlight a major announcement that we have coming. Really, we made this announcement last week, but I'm not really sure if it got quite the attention that we wanted. The City of Montgomery is excited to launch an innovative metaverse project to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the 1965 Selma Montgomery Voting Rights March. The metaverse will offer people a chance to virtually march the same path used by civil rights leaders and legends and others pushing for equal voting rights 60 years ago. Available in March 2025, this immersive experience allows users to witness the historic march and explore the Civil Rights Trail from the St. Jude campus to the Alabama State Capitol. I was about to say, I know we had some real nice slides. The application will be available to anyone with access to the internet and a web browser. No special equipment will be required. This new initiative is part of the city's broader efforts to aid in economic development, tourism, and growth, as well as education in the City of Montgomery in conjunction with the Reconnecting Communities and Neighborhoods grant. By including an immersive digital experience to help celebrate the 60th anniversary, the city continues to solidify its reputation as a forward-thinking community that values its past while embracing new technology and looking toward its future. So we're really excited about this, and as we build up, you hear more marketing and more advertisements about this commemorative march. We want everyone to come out and participate in some function of it. The city, the county, the state, and other entities will be assisting us in this endeavor to make sure as we welcome thousands of people to Montgomery for the other side of the bridge celebration, that they're able to dial into it at a time that will put in a fashion that will put them back in time as it was in 1965. So it really is a great way to bring this virtual technology to our phones and to our other digital devices. Now I want to just highlight a few staff additions. I want to take a moment to welcome a new addition to our city staff, new Chief Property Maintenance Inspector, Robert Morgan. Robert, will you please stand? All right, thank you. Robert comes to us after having served as the Deputy Director of Property Operations for the Oakland Housing Authority in Oakland, California. He also has experience as a project manager with Alton Management Company, a regional property supervisor with Stratus Real Estate, and as Director of Communities for DCI Properties. We're glad to have Mr. Morgan join this team, and we look forward to his work and his leadership and the experience that he brings to many things that concern a lot of our council members because it's brought up by many members of our community. So I think this is a value-added addition, and he steps into a position that was filled by a great city employee for a long time, Brandon, and we're grateful for what he will bring to the table as well. Now we want to close out tonight's message by offering a pair of proclamations and condolences on behalf of the city of Montgomery for some important figures in our community. First is with a heavy heart that we remember Montgomery Fire Rescue Chaplain Ben Alpert. Chaplain Alpert served the citizens of Montgomery and members of the Montgomery Fire Rescue with compassion and dedication, whether it was emergency scenes, grief counseling sessions, or praying for the safety of women and men, leaders across this department. Chaplain Alpert's impact was felt across our city. Montgomery Fire Rescue and the city of Montgomery extend our deepest condolences to his wife Bonnie, his son Nathan, and to Chaplain Alpert's family and friends during this time of loss. This time we want to present a proclamation and ask to certainly take a picture with the City Council. But before I present the proclamation, certainly want to offer any time you all would like to take to express any comments to the City Council and to the public as well. You have anything you want to say?
Just thank you on behalf of myself and our family that we had this opportunity to serve the community. My husband loved being a part of the fire department, and he especially enjoyed getting up in the middle of the night when the alarm would go off on his phone and run off to the fire. And he enjoyed the time that he got to spend with people individually. And the fire department was just his home away from home. And we thank the Lord that he had that opportunity to serve.
Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you, Father. Thank you. I appreciate it, sir. Finally, we also want to recognize the passing of former Councilman Montgomery Police Department member, Mr. Sidney T. Williams, an 8-year U.S. Air Force veteran and a 26-year member of the Alabama National Guard. Mr. Sidney Williams was also at the forefront of the civil rights movement. Mr. Williams organized multiple marches across the Edmund Pettus Bridge and also helped ensure the security of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and his family in the fight for justice and equality. He also broke barriers by becoming one of the first black police officers in the Montgomery Police Department. Mr. Williams also served our city as a city council member, was director of safety and security at Alabama State University, served as a fraud investigator in the office of the Alabama Attorney General, and was appointed to the Alabama Board of Pardons and Paroles, where he served as chairman of the board. As a city, we send our deepest condolences to his family and friends, church family as well, in recognition of his legacy of service and leadership. And we have with us a plaque that we'd like to provide the family that reads, in loving memory of Sidney T. Williams for his service to the citizens of Montgomery, Alabama, Montgomery City Councilman, District 5, November 1995 through November 1999. And it is inscribed with the name of myself as well as all of the city councilmen, leading with the president, who now runs from District 5, represents District 5, Cornelius C.C. Calhoun. We also have with us or to present to the family a proclamation from the office of the mayor. I will not read it in its entirety, but it's signed by myself as well as all of the members of the city council here in memory of Councilman Williams. So at this time, we invite the family, and I know pastors here as well. If you would like to share any comments before the council this time, please come and do so. After that, we will take a picture with the council as well. But please share any comments you'd like to take at this time.
I don't have much to say, but thank you all. My father loved his city, his district, and his country. So we would like to thank you all for this recognition. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. President, that concludes my report. Thank you for the opportunity.